Picture this. It's 4:50 a.m. on October 17th, 2003, in a quiet house in Boston, Massachusetts. A teenage girl jolts awake to her mother's piercing scream. Fire! Flames lick at the doorway. Smoke chokes the air, and within hours, 2 people are dead. That girl, 17-year-old Frangset, dials 911, saves herself and her cousin, and becomes the town's hero until she doesn't. 8 years later, she's locked away for life, convicted of torching her own home and murdering her parents. But here's the kicker. She swears she's innocent and no one believes her. So, what really happened that night? Was it a tragic accident, a cold-blooded plot, or something far darker? Let's rewind the clock to 2003, dig into the ashes, and find out. Massachusetts isn't just any state. It's the birthplace of basketball, volleyball, and, oh yeah, some of America's most powerful families like the Kennedys. By 2004, it's the first state to legalize same-sex marriage, and it's home to brain trusts like Harvard and MIT. But in the sleepy southeastern corner, in Plymouth County, a different kind of history is about to unfold. Frangset's family isn't famous, just ordinary folks. Her dad, Jimmy Choi, is 64, her mom, En Choi, is 53, and then there's Keenis, her 16-year-old cousin who's only a year younger because of some complicated family history tied to Hong Kong. They're all asleep that fateful morning when chaos erupts. And trust me, by the time we're done, you'll be questioning everything you think you know about this fire and who lit the match. Ready to dive deeper? Next, we'll step into the smoke-filled chaos of that October dawn and uncover the first clues that turn a rescue into a murder investigation. All right, let's set the scene. It's October 17th, 2003, and the clock's ticking toward 4:50 a.m. in a modest house in Boston's Plymouth County. Frangset, a 17-year-old high schooler with dreams of college dorms and freedom, is fast asleep when her world flips upside down. A scream rips through the stillness, her mom, En Choi, shouting, "Fire!" Frang bolts up, heart pounding, and sees it. Orange tongues of flame claw at the doorway. Thick black smoke pouring in like a living thing. No time to think. She grabs a phone, dials 911, and stumbles to the window, yelling for help into the chilly pre-dawn air. Down the hall, her cousin Keenis, 16, is waking up to the same nightmare. This isn't a drill. This is life or death. The Boston fire crew doesn't mess around. They're on the scene fast, hoses blasting, axes swinging. By some miracle, they pull Frang and Keenis out through second-floor windows, the kids clinging to the sills like lifelines. Frang's gasping, coughing up smoke, but she's alive. She tells the firefighters her parents are still inside, trapped in the master bedroom. The team charges in, battling heat and fumes, but it's too late. Jimmy Choi, 64, and En Choi, 53, are found unconscious, overwhelmed by smoke and seared by burns. Un doesn't make it. She dies at the hospital, her lungs poisoned by the toxic haze. Jimmy's rushed to another facility, clinging to life, but by 5:55 p.m. that day, he's gone too. 2 teenagers saved, 2 parents lost. A tragedy, sure, but the story's just getting started. Now, let's talk about this family for a sec, because there's something odd here. Jimmy and En aren't just Frang's parents. They're Keenis's grandparents. Yeah, it's a little tangled. See, Jimmy had a son from a previous marriage back in Hong Kong who died doing something reckless in 2000, leaving Keenis behind. The kid, barely a toddler then, ends up in the U.S. with his grandparents after that mess, making him Frang's cousin but only a year younger. They're close in age, sure, but living under one roof with a strict grandpa and a tense family dynamic? That's a pressure cooker, waiting to blow. So, the fire's out, the bodies are counted for, and the cops roll in. This isn't your average house fire. Something's off. The firefighters catch a whiff of gasoline the second they bust through the door, sharp and unmistakable. They poke around and find 4 containers, 2 old powdered milk cans, and 2 soda bottles, all reeking of fuel. The fire didn't start outside. No broken windows, no signs of break-in, just damage from the rescue crew's entry. It sparked inside, deliberate and vicious. The master bedroom took the worst hit. Walls char black, air thick with heat residue. Frang's room got a solid dose too, while Keenis's barely touched. The cops huddle up and nod. This is no accident. Someone in that house wanted it to burn. First stop, the hospital. Frang and Keenis are shaken, but breathing. Minor smoke inhalation at worst. The police sit them down, still in their Soot Street clothes, and start asking questions. What happened? What did you see? Both kids play dumb. Frang says she woke up to screams. Call for help? That's it. Keenis shrugs, mumbles he doesn't know how it started. No tears, no panic, just blank stares. The cops aren't buying it. They bag the kids' clothes or evidence and send them off. But the wheels are already turning. This isn't a grieving family. This is a suspect pool. Hours tick by, and Frang's prepping to visit her dying dad when the police swoop in again. They pull her aside, pile her into a squad car, and for 34 minutes straight, it's a rolling interrogation. What do you know about the fire? Why'd it start? She's rattled. Sticking to her story, no clue, just chaos. Then, a bombshell. A trained police dog sniffs her sweatpants from that night and signals gasoline. Frang's jaw drops. How? She stammers maybe it's from the basement workshop or a friend's place. The cops smirk. They've got her now. Meanwhile, Jimmy slips away at the hospital, and by evening, Frang's not just an orphan. She's a suspect. Back at the scene, things get weirder. The police call Frang, ask her to check the house for property damage. She says no, too raw, too soon. An hour and a half later, she changes her mind, but it's locked down, sealed as a crime scene. Everything's been hauled off to the station. Then, two big breaks. Under Keenis's bed, they find handwritten notes, detailed plans to burn the house down. One's a 12-step gasoline scheme, complete with hiding spots and a reminder to destroy the paper. Oops. The other's a 20-step gas attack. Handwriting matches Keenis's. Next to his room, a singed towel, rolled up tight, maybe block smoke. The kid's looking dirty. But Frang's not off the hook. A firefighter recalls her eerie calm as they yanked her from the window. No hysterics. Just a cool, what about my stuff? For a girl who almost died, it's off-key. Pair that with the gas on her pants. And the cops are circling. By 7:45 p.m., both teens are hauled to the station, split into separate rooms. Frang's grilled hard. Why the gas? She doubles down. No idea. Keenis clams up, then cracks when they wave those notes his face. His story? Some random guy at school made him write it. Like a chain letter curse. The cops roll their eyes. This is unraveling fast, and someone's about to take the fall. What's next? The interrogation heats up, secrets spill, and the finger-pointing begins. Stick around. We're about to see who's really holding the match. So, here we are, 7:45 p.m. on October 17th, 2003. The air's still thick with the stench of smoke and suspicion as Frang Set and her cousin Keenis sit in separate interrogation rooms at the Boston police station. The house is a smoldering wreck. Jimmy and En Choi are dead, and the cops are dead set on cracking this case before the night's out. 2 teenagers, 1 fire, and a pile of evidence that's starting to point fingers. Let's dive into the chaos and see how this all goes down. Frang's room is a stark box, gray walls, a metal table, and a detective with a notepad who's not in the mood for games. She's 17, orphan in a day, and still wearing the shock on her face. But the cops aren't here to comfort her. Explain the gasoline on your sweatpants. The detective snaps, leaning in. Frang blinks, fumbles for words. I don't know. Maybe I brushed against something in the basement. The workshop down there's got tools, chemicals, or maybe a friend's place. It's a weak swing and the cop's not buying it. Her voice shakes, but she sticks to her line. I didn't do anything. I called 911. I saved us. The detective scribbles, smirks, and keeps pushing. You were calm out there, Frang. Too calm. Most kids would be a mess. What's your deal? She stares at the table, muttering, I was scared. I just didn't scream. Across the hall, Keenis is sweating under the same spotlight. He's 16, lanky, with a jittery edge that wasn't there when the firefighters hauled him out. At first, he's all shrugs and I don't knows, playing the coolest card hard. But then the cop slaps those handwritten notes on the table. 2 meticulous plans to torch the house. One with gasoline, one with gas, penned in his own scrawl. Keenis's eyes widen. He's caught. Okay, look, he stammers. This guy at school, a black kid I don't even know, told me to write it. Said it'd keep bad luck away, like those chain letters. I wasn't gonna do it. The detective leans back, arms crossed. A random guy? Really? You expect me to swallow that? Keenis squirms, but the story's so thin you could poke a hole through it with a matchstick. The clock's ticking, and the cops are done with the warm-up. They drag Keenis's notes into sharper focus. 12 steps for the gasoline plan. Write down to where to stash the fuel and how to dodge the cops. Step 10. Get back to your room fast. Step 11. Play dumb if they're late, and jump out the window if it's bad. Step 12. Star for emphasis. Burn this paper. Guess he missed that one. The gas plan's even wilder. 20 steps. Same target. Jimmy and N's room. And that singed towel by his bed? Looks like he stuffed it under the door to keep the smoke out while the house went up. Keenis's face is a mask of panic now, and the cops smell blood. Then Keenis flips the script. It wasn't me, it was Frang, he blurts, voice cracking. She told me to write it. She wanted them gone. The detective raises an eyebrow. Go on. Keenis spills the story like he's rehearsed it. I heard noises that night, went to check, and saw her pulling a bottle of gas from the basement. She asked me to help, but I said no. She got mad, real mad. I ran back to my room, locked the door. On the way, I saw her pouring it. On the couch, the stairs, their bedroom door. Then it all went up. She even said if I helped, we'd split the insurance money. 10 grand for me. Said she'd get a big payout when they were dead. He's practically panting now, adding, she hated them. Wanted out, wanted a boyfriend they wouldn't let her have, wanted college her way. I didn't do it, I swear. The cops don't blink. They haul Frang and Keenis into a face-to-face showdown. It's a shouting match from the jump. Frang's furious, jabbing a finger at him. You're lying. I never said that. I'd never hurt them. Keenis fires back. You did it, not me. I saw you. It's raw, messy, and the detectives let it play out, watching every twitch. 3 hours in, around 11 p.m., they've got Frang cornered. Tell us the truth, Frang. Did you do it? Any accomplices? She's exhausted, snapping. Fine, I was part of it. Then instantly recoils. No, wait. I didn't mean that. I was mad, that's all. Too late. The cops pounce. An admission's an admission. She's cuffed, charged with arson and murder, and hauled off to lockup. Keenis? They keep him on ice, but he's not booked. Yet. Next day, the press flips like a switch. Yesterday's headlines praised a brave girl who called 911. Now they're screaming about a monster who tortured parents for cash. Frang's mugshot, leaned against a railing, eyes hollow, splashes across the news. The police, led by detectives Ken Ossovan and John Bradley, tagged both teens with first-degree murder and arson charges. Keenis's notes and Frang's confession are the backbone, plus that damning gasoline trace. The prosecution's theory? Frang wanted freedom, money from her parents' insurance, a boyfriend, a life without rules. Keenis? Maybe a pawn, maybe more. Either way, the case is locked and loaded. But let's rewind a bit. Frang's not wrong about her calm vibe throwing people off. The firefighter who pulled her out swears she barely flinched, asking about her stuff while her house burned. And Keenis's tale about her pouring gas? It's vivid, almost too perfect. The cops lean hard on Frang, but those notes under Keenis's bed aren't going anywhere. The family's messy too. Jimmy was strict, sickly, piling chores on Frang, while Keenis had his own beef with the old man. Motives are stacking up like kindling, and the fire's still smoldering in our heads. So, Frang's behind bars, Keenis is teetering, and the trial's looming. What's coming next? 5 years of legal twists, a courtroom circus, and a verdict that'll lock this mystery tight, or blow it wide open. Stay with me. We're headed to court. All right, let's fast forward from that smoky October night in 2003 to the courtroom battles that stretch out over the next 8 years. Frang sits in a cell. Her life flipped from high school dreams to a murder rap. while Keenis Choi is still in the mix. His role is blurry as the smoke that night. The cops, Detectives Ken Ossovan and John Bradley, have their story. Fraying torture house for insurance money and freedom, maybe with Keenis as her sidekick. But as the gavel's about to drop, this case turns into a legal marathon that'll test everyone's grip on the truth. Buckle up, we're diving into the trials. It's January 24th, 2008, over 4 years since the fire. Frang's 22 now, worn thin by jail, facing first-degree murder and arson charges alongside Keenis. The prosecution's got a tight narrative. Frang's a mastermind, driven by resentment and greed. Those gasoline traces on her sweatpants, her mid-interrogation slip. I was part of it, and Keenis's wild tale for pouring fuel are their aces. Keenis? He's the shaky witness. His handwritten arson plans waved around like a smoking gun. The defense counters hard. Frang's a victim, not a killer. That confession was exhaustion, not guilt. Keenis's notes could be his own plot. The courtroom's tense, but after days of back and forth, the jury's deadlocked. No verdict. The judge calls it off, disbands the panel, and sets a redo. Frang stays locked up. Keenis is still in limbo. October 25th, 2008 rolls around. Keenis's turn in the spotlight. His lawyers got a simple play. My client's clueless, knew nothing, did nothing. Those arson plans? Just teenage scribbles, not intent. No gas on his clothes, full cooperation with cops. Clean as a whistle. The prosecution's softer on him now, maybe because Frang's their big fish. After a few days, the jury bites. Keenis walks free, right there in the courtroom. He's 21, off the hook, while Frang's still staring at bars. Suspicious? You bet, especially with those notes in his handwriting. But the law is spoken, and Keenis fades into the background, for now. January 2011, Frang's back in court, her second shot at freedom. She's 25, tougher but still swearing she's innocent. Keenis, now a free man, flips into the star witness, protected by a deal that keeps him untouchable. He doubles down. I saw Frang pour the gas, couch stairs, their door. She begged me to help, promised me 10 grand from the insurance. He admits writing the plans, but swears she ordered it. The prosecution piles on, the gas on her pants, her calm demeanor, his eyewitness account. Frang's team fights back. Keenis is a liar. The gas could have come from anywhere, and her confession was coerced. Days drag on, tempers flare, but the jury's stuck again, no consensus. The judge cuts her a break. 3 months out on bail with a GPS ankle bracelet, living with her uncle. She's at limits. Doctor visits church, court, but it's her first taste of freedom in years. May 2011, third time's a charm or curse. Frang's back in the dock, but there's a twist. Keenis bolts to Hong Kong 2 days before, nabbed for drug trafficking. He's gone, but his recorded testimony's still in play, legal if shaky. He's on tape, pointing at Frang, claiming she staged it all. The prosecution leans on that, plus the dog sniffed gasoline, arguing she got sloppy moving the fuel. A forensic expert nods. Yep, it's on her clothes. Case closed. Frang's lawyer pushes hard. Keenis is a real threat. His notes prove intent. And where's the proof she lit the match? The jury deliberates for 2 weeks, and this time they land guilty. 2 counts of murder, 1 of arson. Frang's 25, and the sentence is brutal. Life without parole. She's crushed, her family screaming miscarriage, but the gavel drops. Game over. Let's step back and chew on this. Frang's conviction hinges on 3 pillars. Gas on her pants, Keenis's word, and that fleeting, I was part of it. Solid, right? Maybe not. Keenis walking free raises eyebrows. Those plans were his, and his story's too neat, like he rehearsed it. Frang's calm? Could be shock, not guilt. And the gas? Why is it only on her, not him? The family dynamic's a minefield too. Jimmy was a hard ass, strict with Frang, clashing with Keenis over his antics. Keenis had baggage. Hong Kong roots, a dead dad, a chip on his shoulder. Motives not exclusive to Frang, but the cops zeroed in anyway. Something's off, and it's gnawing at us. Frang's not done. She appeals, Automatic under Massachusetts law for first-degree murder. But the road's brutal, and for years, it's a dead end. She's in prison, her youth slipping away, while Keenis vanishes into Hong Kong shadows. The public split. Some see a monster, others a scapegoat. Her family's adamant. She's no killer, just a good kid caught in a nightmare. The truth's buried deep, but cracks are forming. What's next? A 9-year fight to claw it out, with new players, hidden lies, and a shot at flipping this whole damn thing upside down. Hang tight. We're about to unearth the real story. Here we are, picking up in 2011. Frang sets 25, locked away for life without parole, her dreams of college and freedom torched alongside her childhood home. The gavel's fallen. Third trial. Guilty on all counts. 2 murders, 1 arson. Keenis Choi, her cousin and the prosecution's golden boy, is long gone, dodging drug charges in Hong Kong. The world's moved on, but Frang hasn't. She's swearing she's innocent. Her family's rallying behind her, and the Massachusetts Supreme Court's got her appeal on autopilot. Standard for a first-degree murder rap. Problem is, it's a slog, and for years, it's going nowhere. Let's dig into how this Loctite case starts to crack wide open. Frang's early appeals are a bust, legal quicksand, slow and suffocating. She's in prison, adapting to concrete walls and strict routines, but she's not breaking. Her family's out there, shouting she's been railroaded, but the system's not budging. Then 2015 hits, a lifeline. Enter Don Bat, a lawyer with a nose for buried truth. He takes her case, digs into the mess of 3 trials, and smells something rotten. 1 guy against a mountain of evidence? Tough odds. So he calls in backup, the Innocence Project at Boston University Law School. These folks live for cases like this. Students and pros teaming up to sniff out wrongful convictions. They grab Frang's files, police reports, fire crew logs, lab results, and start tearing apart. What they find: game changers. First bombshell, prejudice. Bat zeroes in on the original prosecutors, Ken Ossovin and John Bradley. These guys built a case against Frang, and they're not clean. Digging through old emails, fought tooth and nail to get 5 years of legal tug-of-war, they uncover a cesspool of racist bile. Ossovin and Bradley toss around slurs about Asians, mocking Frang and her family before the trials even kicked off. They didn't just prosecute her, they dehumanized her, painting her as a calculating killer from the jump. To them, she wasn't a scared teen, she was a stereotype. The Innocence team argues this skewed everything. Jury bias, evidence framing the works. By spring 2019, the Supreme Court forces the DA's office to cough up hundreds of pages, stuff Frang's old lawyers never saw. It's a gold mine of ugly. Second hit, buried dirt on Keenis. Those emails reveal the cops and prosecutors knew plenty about him, and hid it. 3 months before the fire, Keenis was tangled up in drug dealing near schools. He clashed hard with Jimmy, his granddad, yelling matches over dope and cash. Jimmy even called the cops once when Keenis bolted after a fight. There's more, and caught him stealing jewelry, and Jimmy laid into him physically and verbally. Keenis had a motive as big as Frang's supposed one. Revenge, freedom, whatever. But the prosecution downplayed it, calling it typical teen stuff. Worse, while Frang was rotting in jail before her second trial, Keenis set 2 more fires at Jimmy's old haunts. Ossovin and Bradley knew and kept it quiet. Didn't tell Frang's defense a damn thing. Keenis wasn't just a witness. He was a loose cannon. Third strike. The gasoline lie. The Innocence crew hires a chemist to retest Frang's sweatpants. The whole case hung on that dog sniffing gas. Result? Nada. No trace. Turns out, her clothes weren't tested until after her arrest, and the chain of custody shaky. Meanwhile, Keenis's clothes? Never checked. The cops swore at trial there was no gas on him, but without testing, that's a guess, not fact. The dog's alert on Frang starts looking like a fluke or a setup. And get this, the interrogation notes weren't destroyed like the cops claimed. The handwritten originals surface, and they don't match the polished report or the officer's testimony. Oh, and the station had recording gear back then, despite their no-tech excuse. Someone's lying. Fourth blow, a new voice. Keenis's ex-girlfriend steps up, tracked down by the Innocence team. She swears he bragged to her, bought the gas, wrote the plans, lit the match, said he hated Jimmy and N, felt like an outsider in their house. His mom in Hong Kong sent cash, but they demanded more, treated him like a burden. Revenge was his spark, not Frang's insurance fantasy. Her story's solid, accepted later by the court, but Frang's old lawyer missed her entirely. Huge fumble. Fifth nail, lousy defense. Frang's first attorney barely swung back. Didn't challenge the gas test, didn't grill Keenis, didn't dig into his fires or past. One decent investigator could have flipped this, but she got a dud. The Innocence Project argues her trial was a farce. Tainted evidence, hidden witnesses, and a lawyer asleep at the wheel. By March 2020, Bat and the team pushed for bail. Frang's 34 now, a model inmate. Earned a sociology degree with honors. Trained service dog for vets. Aced a cosmetology exam. She's no threat. On October 17th, 2020, 17 years to the day since the fire, she walks out free on bond. Then, September 29th, 2020, the big win. The court tosses her conviction. The judge cites it all. Cop lies, fake evidence, racist prosecutors, that useless lawyer. No for trial. Case closed. Frang's clear, but the scars? Permanent. She's out, living with family, working a quiet job, dodging the spotlight. Keenis? Vanished in Hong Kong. Ossovin's at another DA's office. Bradley got Ken in 2012, unrelated mess. The Innocence Project's head, Professor Sharon Mann, says it plain. Those emails show why she was framed. Racism turned her into a villain. Frang's words via Bat hit hard. Proving I'm innocent took everything. I miss my parents every day. I just want peace now. She's 34, rebuilding from ash. What's left? A free woman, a broken system, and questions that won't die. Was Keenis the real fire starter? Did justice finally win, or just stumble? Next, we'll wrap this up and face the shadows still lingering. So, here we stand, September 29th, 2020. Frang set, 34 years old, steps out of the legal grinder after 17 years. Her name finally cleared. No more cuffs, no more bars. Just a quiet life with family, a job, and a chance to breathe. The Massachusetts courts toss her conviction, calling out the lies, the racism, and the botched defense that stole half her life. Keenis Joy, the cousin who pointed the finger, is a ghost in Hong Kong. The prosecutors who framed her? Scattered. One still working, one long fired. This isn't just an ending, it's a reckoning. Let's piece together how Frang got here, and what's left smoldering in the wreckage. Rewind to that courtroom victory. It's been 9 years since Frang's life sentence, 8 since Keenis skipped town, and 5 since Don Bat and the Innocence Project cracked the case open. The judge's ruling is a gut punch to the system. Cops fed the court a twisted tale, mismatched notes, untested clothes, a dog sniff that didn't hold up. Prosecutors Ken Ossovin and John Bradley poisoned the well with their bigoted emails, turning Frang into a caricature before the jury even sat down. Her first lawyer? A no-show in a fight. She couldn't win alone. Add Keenis's ex-girlfriend spilling his confession. Gas plans revenge, and it's clear. The truth was buried, but it's out now. No retrial. The state's done chasing her. Frang's free. She's not the kid from 2003 anymore. Prison forged her. Straight-A sociology degree from Boston's Metropolitan University. 1,000 hours training service dog for disabled vets. A cosmetology license nailed with flying colors. She's tough, quiet, and done with the spotlight. Her statement, read by Bat, cuts deep. This was a long, brutal road. Nothing erases losing my parents or what we went through. I lived to make them proud. Even in there, I'm relieved the truth's out. I just want normal now. She's with relatives, working somewhere low-key, dodging cameras. After 17 years, who could blame her? Keenis, though? He's the loose thread. Last seen dodging drug busts in Hong Kong. He's a shadow. Maybe the real arsonist. Maybe just a messed up kid who got lucky. His ex's words haunt us. He hated Jimmy and N. Felt like a stranger in their house. Lit the fire to settle scores. His mom sent money from afar, but they squeezed her dry and he snapped. Those notes under his bed, the untested clothes, the later fires. It all points to him. Yet he walked in '08, leaving Frang to carry the weight. Did he play the system, or was he played to? We'll never know. He's off the grid. The prosecutors aren't unscathed. Ossovin's still grinding at Pretun County's DA office, ducking the fallout. Bradley got the boot from Plymouth in 2012. Some unrelated screw-up. Not this mess. Their emails, exposed in 2019, are the smoking gun. Professor Sharon Mann from the Innocence Project nails it. They didn't see Frang. They saw a cold-blooded Asian schemer, and they sold that to the jury. No priors, no psych issues, just a kid they tore apart. The DA's office stays mum, but the stain's there. 2 careers tainted, a system exposed. Frang's story ripples outward. Some see a hero, 17 years of hell, and she came out swinging. She graduated behind bars, helped vets, kept her soul intact. Others feel the loss. Her 20s, her parents, years no court can give back. Her family's vocal. She was always good, never a killer. The public split. Sympathy for her, rage at the law, whispers of doubt. Was Keenest the puppet master? Did secrets die with him in Hong Kong? The fire's out, but the embers glow. Let's zoom out. That night in 2003 wasn't just a tragedy. It was a mirror. Frang woke up to screams. Saved herself and Keenest, lost everything, and got branded a monster. The cops pounced, gas on her pants, a shaky confession. Keenest's tale. 3 trials pinned her down, but the truth clawed free. Prejudice warped the case. Evidence was flimsy, and Keenest had his own matches. She's no saint or villain, just a girl caught in a machine that chewed her up. Justice stumbled in late, but it came. What's the takeaway? This isn't a tidy whodunit. It's a warning. About bias sneaking into badges and robes. About how fast a life can burn when the system's blind. Frang's piece is hard-won, fragile. At 34, she's starting over, but the past lingers. Parents gone, you've stolen, a cousin's shadow unanswered. Some cheer or grit. Others wonder if we've missed a piece. Me? I see a woman who survived a fire. Twice. Once in '03, once in court. And that's it. The ashes settle, the case closes. Frang walks away, not as a convict, but as someone who got her life back. Will she find calm after the storm? Time's the only judge left. For us, it's a hell of a story. One that sticks, makes you think, and leaves you staring at the dark, wondering who really struck the match.